what's good? We about to tap into another Doug Exile video. We about to hear about Dormy Stormy Daniels. I mean, yeah, I don't know where my mind is at, but y'all let me know because we about to tap into this video. Let's tap in.
It's time for Trump's New York trial, starring washed up has-been attention seeker Stormy Daniels, and we're just here to backfill a little bit of detail. As each day the trial goes on, big major points are made or not made about Trump, and we try and bring those to you just to keep you caught up. So here's the big take home from the Stormy Daniels trial. I hope you'll subscribe, because then you have the one-stop shop for where to get your news. Make sure you ring that bell after you subscribe. Get us to 500,000 subscribers. We're almost there. Just 25,000 away. I need your help to get there. Here's Phil Holloway on Megyn Kelly.
She claimed that she was threatened. So the prosecution's trying to say, you came forward and, or you did not come forward, right? You did not come forward to say anything about this until you decided to shake down Donald Trump. That's what you wanted to do, shake him down.
So that's the big news, is that there's a slight violent tinge that Stormy Daniels tried to project onto Trump. In this case, she claimed she had some random guy in a parking lot tell her not to tell anyone or something might happen. You have a very nice daughter there, threatened her daughter. Of course, the story didn't come out. No one ever heard of it till 12 years after, when Trump runs for president.
And she's like, no, the reason I didn't come forward earlier is because I was threatened. I was in a parking lot years ago, like after it happened, closer in time to when it happened. And a man came up to me in a parking lot when I was in Las Vegas with my daughter. And he threatened me that if I told people I was going to be in some sort of trouble.
She never told any people around her that story. By the way, there's no corroborating witnesses of it. It's just he said, she said. Here's the
exactly. Like, where's the proof behind it? Like, where's the proof? We need proof in 4K. Well, like, you know what I mean? Like he said, she say, he say. Around the corner, Bob says this. Dylan, Tiffany. Like, where's the proof? Like, we need proof. You feel me?
Actual, here she's making the point on CNN.
And a guy walked up on me and said to me, leave Trump alone, forget the story.
Yeah, now that's the big trench coat, mean, weirdo, black, helicopter, spooky, conspiracy stuff. It's not just here on the right, guys. It's all over the left, too.
It just defies common sense. It defies belief. It's the kind of thing that there's no way that it's ever going to be able to be conclusively proven one way or the other. And
it was never made to be concluded. It was always made just for flavor, put a dark tinge on the testimony against Trump, even though none of this Stormy Daniels stuff belongs in this court case at all, because it's not illegal for Trump to have had an affair with Stormy Daniels. We don't approve it, whatever. It should not be part of it. This is about mispaying money, using campaign finances to pay off a non-disclosure agreement, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's a tweet on the recording that was played in the courtroom of Stormy Daniels, just in an audio recording from 2018 between Michael Cohen, who's been proven to be a liar, but the primary witness of the prosecutors, and Stormy Daniels' attorney, Keith Davidson, was played to attorneys and the judge. In the recording, Keith Davidson appeared to be threatening Cohen and Trump. On the phone, he claims Stormy Daniels' publicist boyfriend is going to run with the story to the press, saying, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he comes out and says, you know what, Stormy Daniels, she wanted this money more than you can ever imagine. I remember hearing her on the phone saying, you effing Keith Davidson, you better settle this GD story, because if he loses this election, if Trump loses the election, and he's going to lose, this is back in 2016, if he loses this election, we lose all effing leverage. This case is worth zero. That's what they're saying about the hush money that they're trying to extort from Trump. We now have Stormy Daniels' attorney admitting on the phone recording that Daniels was extorting the president. Will she be held accountable? You can tell me in the comments below. Will
she tried to finesse him to... Dang, that's crazy. She tried to extort that man. Dang, that's tough. Nah, for real. Like, man, people can get around certain things, man. Can finesse, and you either be a simp or you put your foot down, man. Like that's really what it comes down to.
she face any time for trying to extort a president? Here's two hilarious people over at MSNBC. It's my favorite. The one lady does all the talking, and the other one looks like Beaker's grandmother.
The fact that Stormy Daniels now claims that she is a medium and that she communicates with dead people.
Yeah, Stormy Daniels communicates with dead people. That's the kind of credible person you have. Suddenly, these people at MSNBC, by the way, who are atheistic and against any kind of supernatural, anything existing, suddenly they're like, oh, Stormy Daniels, she's a medium, claims to talk to dead people. That's totally possible. Goes against all of their atheistic worldview, by the way. Suddenly they're supernaturalists, spiritualists, and mediums. Magic is real, according to MSNBC.
Has participated in a TV series about the paranormal, where she explores things, including the fact that at one point an ex-boyfriend of hers was inhabited by spirits.
Okay, she dates the demon possessed, a man inhabited by spirits. They're trying to undermine her credibility, by the way. I just want you to imagine a witness on Trump's side.
He pretty much said, get away from this make-believe storylines and all that. Oh no, like it talk about, bro. Like that's all. I'm like, bro, this is like what this got to do with it? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Stormy Daniels with all this mess, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like demons and all that. Come on, bro. Like we read a bedtime story or something. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like they is coming out with all this stuff about. I'm like, come on, you serious, bro? Just get to the meat and potatoes of the story. You feel me? But nah, I agree with Doug Exalt. Like, you feel me? On some real stuff. Like, I really do agree so far with what Doug and Exalt was saying so far.
Imagine if anyone in Trump's family or a witness came out and said, I am a medium and I talk to the dead. I once dated someone that was full of spirits. Can you imagine what MSNBC, what these women would be saying about her, instead of how wonderful and spiritual Stormy Daniels is?
She was mocking Stormy Daniels. She wants the jury to think Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy.
Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy.
And she also wants the jurors to judge her for her occupation. And Stormy Daniels gave no ground on that, as Sue just said.
No, of course you judge her on her occupation. This is a woman who has sex for money on camera. She's a stripper.
She's tricking. So she tricking people, and she's tricking on the low, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? It don't need to be explained. No other less or more. You feel me?
She does OnlyFans. She's every nightmare of any man, a family man, or a family, or any man who's ever tempted by someone. He's a nightmare of someone like Trump. You do not want to meet these people on the road. You want to always be vigilant against them. She is that person. She is a strumpet, a tramp. She's what, by the way, they're attracted to powerful, rich men. Now, they're going to try and pretend like she's Bo Peep here, like your Sunday school teacher, like she's some Mennonite with her hair up in a bun and a net.
She might be an exotic dancer, an adult film actor, but she was very clear when Susan Neckles used the phrase selling yourself to describe what Stormy Daniels was doing on a tour where she was making appearances at clubs. Stormy Daniels set her straight. I was not selling myself.
Not at clubs, at strip clubs. And they paid her.
Yeah, it seemed like in that clip, like she was like, I couldn't even believe it. This is a joke. She was just going along with it. like she couldn't even believe it. Like she was like, "Oh, I'm just ready to get this done with and to move on in my life." You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's crazy. No, I didn't even know Stormy Daniels did all that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like kind of like this is crazy.
They pay you at strip clubs, or they give you a percentage of the pull. You swing around a pole, you take your clothes off, they throw money at you. That's what Stormy Daniels does. She is for sale. Whatever you call that, she doesn't do it for free, guys.
I was dancing. The implication always was, I am not a sex worker, and I don't have a sign around my neck that says consent given freely to everyone at any time.
Of course, no one anywhere, even prostitutes don't have that sign. They're not free. It's for sale. It's love for sale. That's the whole point of it. No one's implying that
they for the streets. You know what I mean? It don't need to. You know what I mean? They just for the streets. You feel me? Like that's what they call them. You know what I mean? You see them everywhere on the corner. You know what I mean?
just because she's a sex worker, that it means you get it for free. For all I knew, Trump threw a 20 at her. Or maybe she was okay with it. Or maybe it didn't happen at all. Maybe that's the kind of thing that a sex worker thinks, is, you know what, you can shake these family men down for a lot of money if their wife is pregnant, and you make these claims. You can do a lot of damage when they run for president. That's what every sex worker knows. Extortion is part of it.
And not, Donald Trump was mine, that I was for the taking by this man.
Yeah, Trump doesn't, this is what makes me sick, okay? Trump doesn't have to take it. I'm not implying that men, rich, powerful men, don't do that. I am implying that voluptuous women like Stormy Daniels, who are adult stars, are attracted to power and money. Men like Trump walk in, that it's a magnet to them. If you don't believe that, then you do not know the culture of the adult film industry. Go to one of their parties, watch how they act. I've seen them act in real life because we used to have we'd go to this pizza joint that was next to an adult, a gentleman's club. And man, the women, they'd come out of there, they see some guy with money, shiny rings. The women were all over him. Their men were never redneck farmers, guys in overalls, bricklayers. Okay. Here's news from Kyle Cheney breaking. Judge Merchan just squashed Trump's effort to subpoena Mark Pomerantz, former prosecutors in Bragg's office. They tried getting the last guy that was in Bragg's office, Pomerantz. They said that it was not okay to subpoena him. So this is Merchan working against Trump. But you'd think if that was illegal, why would he allow for Stormy Daniels? So here's Donald Trump Jr. says, so we're clear, according to the judge, Stormy Daniels is relevant, but Mark Pomerantz, a former prosecutor in the Attorney General's office, who wrote a book on it, isn't. See, Stormy Daniels' sex stories are totally irrelevant to this case. And Trump says as much. Here's Trump.
Articles that came out this morning, Jonathan Turley, the predominant question in the Manhattan hush money trial of former President Donald Trump is not one of guilt, but something far more basic. Is the District Attorney Alvin Bragg's case a joke? Is it a prank? Is it a farce? On Thursday, the answers became clear. It's all of the above.
I like that Trump is reading Jonathan Turley, someone I've been reading to you guys for at least 6 months on this stuff. And now Trump is just doing my quotes for me. I'd rather have him say it than me, because it lends credibility to these guys that I've been drawing from. Guys, I don't bring you guys news from weirdo sources, off topic, off incredible stuff. I'm trying to get you the best sources of information because it tends to be more accurate and true. So Trump is quoting Jonathan Turley, and I love that. By the way, we're called professional noticers. That is, I bring you stuff that I notice. It's my job to tell you what I notice. Here's Trump.
Their objective, of course, was to humiliate and smear Trump with a gossipy tale of sex that had nothing to do with the criminal charges at issue.
Remember that? All of the Stormy Daniels stuff that makes it run through the news, they're just trying to slander Trump with this, because they will not deal with the financial allegations of him using campaign finances to pay off hush money, which, by the way, is legal and a misdemeanor. It's the cover-up that they're trying to prove with Stormy Daniels. He tried to cover it up, makes it a felony, even though that felony is made up. Here's MSNBC trying to show how Stormy Daniels, was this great moment, and then they get shut down by their own guest.
Consider the surreal, historic nature of it. A porn actress sitting across from a former president of the United States making these accusations at him while he's in the middle of a presidential campaign, by the way.
That's one long sentence. That's how he sees it. MSNBC is completely stuck on stupid because they're like, this is about Trump having sex with Stormy Daniels. No, dude, that entire sentence you just said literally has nothing to do with the court case. And your guest is about to say exactly that.
At the end of the day, what kind of witness was Stormy Daniels for the prosecution?
Unnecessary. Stormy Daniels, in my view, represents an unnecessary risk for the prosecution.
Beat down. They never should have rolled her out because she doesn't just screw married family men. She's also screwing over the entire case that they ever brought her out.
Here's why. I can't think of any piece of evidence that they got from Stormy Daniels on the prosecution that they couldn't have gotten or didn't already get from other witnesses. The transaction from Cohen to Daniels was established through other witnesses, including Keith Davidson, her former lawyer.
But see, they had all these other witnesses had the same information. Why didn't they use them? Because they weren't porn stars. Because that case, that prosecution is exploiting Stormy Daniels, a stripper, porn star who sells her body for money. They're using her just like every man who ever knew Stormy used her. And the prosecutor trying to come out going like, oh, she's okay. She's a good girl. Then they turn right around and they use her. They still treat her like a whore, just a whore of a different kind.
Why risk Stormy Daniels? Because you saw in Stormy Daniels a request for a mistrial, which was going to be denied. But in my view, the very first major appealable issue that you might see up at the appellate division. So,
yeah, Stormy Daniels is probably going to be the first thing that triggers the appeal that they ever got her involved with this thing at all, because it's not illegal to have an affair, and that they brought her in. It proves that this thing should be mistried, a totally wrongly decided decision by Judge Juan Merchan.
If the prosecution gets a conviction, and this case comes back in 2 years and it's overturned, the conviction, then the prosecution's going to ask themselves, was it worth the risk? If the reason that the conviction's overturned is testimony that was given by Stormy Daniels.
Yep, it will be Stormy Daniels. Here's my favorite. This is an actual court drawing of her, which became our thumbnail. There she is, the other woman. Here's the Babylon Bee. Stormy Daniels offers hush money to courtroom sketch artists to please stop drawing her. Here's CNN with another unbiased person shutting down the Stormy Daniels case.
The material that came in was not relevant to this criminal case at all. And I think it shows that she was trying to get Trump. I actually thought there was a motive there. She said she hates him. She said she'd like to see him in prison.
That's a former district judge totally going against the prosecution and defending Trump. Though she hates Trump's guts, and she's going, I can't help but defend him. This case is so fraudulent.
I think she was purposely throwing out this stuff to make sure the jurors were prejudiced, particularly the women jurors, but probably half of the men.
That's right. They only brought her out to dirty the jury. That's, by the way, why they ended up calling a mistrial on Harvey Weinstein for the same reason. Little too much tampering with the people's emotions, bringing out Stormy Daniels. What do you guys think? I'm Doug in Exile. Subscribe.
Nah, man. I agree with the video, bro. Like, it was valid points, man. She was doing it behind closed doors, man, around the corner, man. Like they said, for the streets. But like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let me know